the rose-red city of Petra, also known as the Lost City.
Incredible! How'd you lose something this big? What?
Well, Cayenne, it just so happens I found you some funky facts. Hit it!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn, funky top 3.
This ancient city's name, Petra, means rock because it was carved into the soft rock of the mountains over 2,000 years ago.
2.
Petra is made up of many different buildings, and the most famous one is the treasury, called Alcazne. You reach the city through the Sikh Gorge, a small gap leading to a big place.
1.
The soft pink sandstone that this awesome city's carved from means Petra's fragile and easily damaged.
Funky facts.
That's a big enough challenge for you, Cayenne?
Whoa! Not bad! Can't wait to ace it!
The Matterhorn is one of the most famous mountains in Europe. Now before you climb, let's check some stats with some fast and funky facts.
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn, funky top 3.
The Matterhorn is a mountain that's so big, it's in 2 countries at once, Switzerland and Italy. At its highest point, it's as high as 14 Eiffel Towers stacked on top of each other.
2.
The top of the mountain has 4 sides, each facing the different points of the compass.
North! South!
East!
And the other one, west!
1.
Because the Matterhorn is so high, thick clouds often form at the top that look like a giant flag flying from the mountain. These are called banner clouds and can make mountaineering even more dangerous.
I've designed it to beat the GoJet Academy land speed record.
And we're in the best place on the planet to do it. Let me explain with some fast and funky facts.
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn, funky top 3.
The Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah are a vast open space over 19 kilometers long. That's nearly 200 football pitches.
2.
Thousands of years ago, a huge salty lake dried up and left behind layers of salt that made this massive flat plain. This can flood in winter, but when it gets warmer, the water dries out and strong winds blow the salt smooth again.
1.
Bonneville's size and flatness make it perfect for super fast driving. The fastest speed driven here is over 700 kilometers an hour, which is as fast as an airplane.
Arriving at the rainforests of Sumatra. Phew-wee.
Whoa, why is the Titan Arum so stinky?
Hold on to your noses. We're about to find out. Hit it!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn, funky top 3.
The Titan Arum can be found in the hot, wet rainforest of Sumatra.
2.
The Titan Arum is the largest flowering plant in the world. It can grow up to 3 meters. That's as tall as an elephant.
1.
The flower only blooms every 7 to 10 years and gives off a really bad smell. This attracts flies and insects to spread its pollen to grow new plants. It's stinkier than 100 smelly socks. Phew-wee!
It's not oil. It's octopus ink. Lars, stop the winch.
Huh? Octopus ink? Well, in that case, maybe that rusty wreck isn't such bad news for the reef after all.
What do you mean, Ubercorn?
I think it's part of the reef. Let's take a deep dive into some funky facts. Ow!
Funky facts, funky facts.
The Academy is where it's at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
A reef is a collection of coral where millions of different sea creatures live, just like the Great Barrier Reef in Australia.
2.
Sometimes even man-made objects like shipwrecks can become an artificial reef.
1.
These can provide a home to all sorts of sea life. And as long as the wrecked submarine isn't leaking oil, it's all good.
Almost there. Whoops. This race is hard. But not long now till I ace it.
Keep going, Go-Jetter. It'll be worth it for the view from the top. Now, let me race you through some fast and funky facts. Hit it!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
Machu Picchu is a city built by the Inca people of Peru over 500 years ago. Amazing ancient buildings are all over the mountainside, from temples to palaces, farms to houses.
2.
To keep the place peaceful and not too busy with tourists, Machu Picchu is a no-fly zone. So, no jetpad or brewster flying today, Go-Jetters.
1.
Cayenne's running the Inca Trail Race, which at over 26 miles is a mighty marathon. You can do it, Go-Jetter.
Wow! The Avenue of the Baobabs.
Majestic.
Geographic.
Awesome!
Cayenne, what's with the handstand?
Ubercorn told me the best way to enjoy baobab trees is upside down.
Really? Let me try. Whoa! Whoa!
Timber!
So, why do they look best upside down?
Go-Jetters, let me set you straight with some funky facts. Hit it!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
The baobab's branches look like roots sticking into the air, especially when it loses all its leaves. And so, it's called the upside-down tree.
Making upside down the right way up. Ha!
2.
At dusk, just as the sun is setting, the trees produce beautiful flowers full of pollen.
1.
Then at night, nocturnal animals like lemurs spread it between the flowers and help the fruit to grow.
Oh, nocturnal animals are animals that come out at night. Venice is amazing.
And so are the gondolas.
Sure, if you aren't in a hurry.
Slow is the only way to travel in Venice, Zuli. Go too fast and you miss all the beautiful buildings. Here's the lowdown about where you're floating today with some funky facts.
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
The city of Venice was built on soft ground, using millions of wooden poles brought down from mountain forests.
2.
Each year, Venice sinks a little further into the water, but very, very slowly.
1.
Because Venice is built on water, there are no cars. From taxis to ambulances, most of the vehicles are boats.
Come in. Beep.
That might be one small step for a go-jetter, but I've got some giant funky facts for you. Hit it!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
The Seattle Space Needle was built to look like a flying saucer, so visitors can enjoy an out-of-this-world view. At 184 meters high, the Space Needle is taller than 100 astronauts. The Space Needle was designed to be super strong in case of earthquakes. A few years ago, a big earthquake shook it so much that all of the water sloshed out of the toilets. But the building was just fine. Shake, rattle, and toilet roll.
Huh? Hailstones from a thundercloud?
That's where hailstones come from, Foz. Let me explain with some funky facts.
Funky facts, funky facts.
The Academy is where it's at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
The tops of these thunderclouds, also known as cumulonimbus, are so high up that rain can freeze and fall as hailstones. Strong winds can blow hailstones round and around inside the cloud, where they can grow even bigger. Some hailstones can be bigger and heavier than a potato. Ouch! These giant hailstones can be dangerous. They can damage crops, cars, planes, and toy robots left out in the garden by accident. Go Jettas, how are you finding the chilly city of Harbin?
Whoa! Quite slippy for some, Ubercorn.
Well, let's chill out with some ice-cold funky facts. Ow!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
Every year at Harbin Ice Festival, huge sculptures are made out of ice and snow. The whole festival covers an area as big as 100 football pitches. Even though it's freezing cold in Harbin, one of the most popular snacks here is ice cream. The sculptures are carved using huge blocks of ice cut from the frozen surface of the Sunqua River. You'd need a supersized glass for those ice cubes.
Are we nearly there yet?
Look ahead! Land ahoy!
The White Cliffs! Awesome!
You'll reach them soon, Cayenne. I can feel it in my hooves. Now let me tell you more about that mighty fine finish line. Hit it!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
The famous White Cliffs of Dover in England are over 100 meters high. That's as tall as 18 giraffes standing on a double-decker bus. The cliffs are made of soft chalk, which is always getting slowly worn away by the sea and the weather.
So that's what keeps them looking whiter than white.
When you cross the English Channel to Dover, the White Cliffs are the first thing you see, whether you're a ferry passenger or a cross-channel swimmer.
Central Park, New York.
That's a park. Geographic.
Sure is, Lars. Let me fill you in with some funky facts. Ow!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn's funky top 3.
Central Park is a huge piece of greenery in New York City. Its many plants and trees help to clean up New York's smog.
Smog?
Smoky pollution from traffic equals smog.
Although Central Park looks natural, it's almost entirely man-made. Even the water in the lakes can be turned on and off, just like a bathtub.
Hey, Sid!
With its Ice Age boulders, tire swings, and over 27,000 trees, Central Park makes the perfect playground for fantastic gymnastics.
Got the tickets, Cayenne?
Ha! Yep!
Great! All ready for our first ride on the bullet train.
Can't wait! It's a real speed machine!
You're not wrong, Zuli. let me fill you in with some fast and funky facts. Ow!
Funky facts, funky facts.
Let me tell you about the place we're at.
With Ubercorn's Funky Top 3.
The Shinkansen is a set of super-fast rail lines that cross Japan, connecting people with the capital city of Tokyo in record time.
2.
The trains that race along these tracks are known as bullet trains and can reach speeds of up to 300 kilometers an hour, almost 3 times as fast as a cheetah.
That's fast. And I know fast.
1.
These electric-powered trains carry lots and lots of passengers. That means far less pollution than if everyone traveled by car or plane. This all helps to keep our planet cleaner. Control, go-jetters?
Sorry, Ubercorn.
Wind power can be much stronger than you think. So pick yourselves up for some funky facts. Ow!
Funky facts, funky facts.
The Academy is where it's at.
With Ubercorn's Funky Top 3.
Wind affects many things all around the world. Birds use the wind to help them travel and migrate across thousands of miles from country to country.
2.
The strongest winds can be very dangerous. They can form huge hurricanes or tall, twisty tornadoes that damage homes and pull up trees.
1.
But wind can be useful too. Turbines all over the world are busy turning wind power into electric power, just like our very own wind farm.